Best cruise cabin hack. I was thinking about this, Betty, as we were getting started here in the chat in the broadcast today. I think that's still the best cabin hack is to bring wall magnets, really sturdy magnets. You can post up on the wall, and then you can use it to store things, hang things. It's really helpful to be able to have these wall magnets. You can buy them on Amazon. They're very inexpensive. I would say get ones that can hold up like 40 pounds or more, just to be on the safe side. And it can really be a major space saver because you have all that extra space on there, which is really, really nice to have. Are they sailing full capacity now? They are not. How about in December? Very close to it, Steve. I posted an update last week at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. During Royal Caribbean's third quarter earnings call with investors last week, they basically said as we get to the holidays, Thanksgiving through Christmas and New Year's, the idea is they're going to be pretty close to, if not at full capacity by then. That's the plan. Obviously, it could change based on different ships, so you never know. Well, Anthem was in the UK. They had tea, coffee kettle, and supplies in all the cabins. Will they be available selling at a Bayonne? Usually not. If you stay in a junior suite or above, Steve, the answer is yes. That's always been the case. They do sometimes change up lineups depending on the region they're sailing from. Like, as an example, in the UK, Steve, there's much more Indian food being served as opposed to here in the US. So I'm not sure that would be the expectation. We won't know, Steve, for sure when it comes back. But whenever I've sailed on Anthem of the Seas out of the US, that has not been the situation where we've had coffee or kettles in the like balcony rooms and below. What time of year has the calmest seas? And you know what the answer is, Eddie? There is no time of year. This is a really common concern. And people say, so there will be some people in chat, Eddie, who are going to write, oh, when it's not hurricane season. And they would be wrong, actually. Hurricane season is not the end all be all of rough or calm seas. Just like, imagine this, Eddie. Let me take your question for a second. Say, Eddie, I don't know where you live, but let's say you live wherever you live in your hometown. If I were to say, Eddie, when is the time of year that you can promise me there'll be no rain? You would say, Matt, I can't do that. It could rain any time of the year. It could rain in December, July, October, right? There's no one day you can say it will never rain, right? By the same token, that's also true of the sea conditions. There is no one time of the year in which you're not going to have or potentially rougher or calmer seas. It's just storms, just like rain, they also bring winds and they adjust the seas. And there's definitely ebbs and flows to that. So I would simply tell you there isn't a guarantee by any means. You might make some arguments about certain times of the year being better or worse, but truly there is no guarantee out there. I wouldn't look at it that way. Any suggestions for excursions to Miami before the Freedom Cruise? Great question. The Frost Science Center is fantastic. Of course, you have Miami Beach. You go to Miami Beach, you just hang out there. It's a beautiful area, great architecture, restaurants, the beach itself. You have the Aventura Mall, if you're looking to do some shopping, right by across the bay in downtown Miami, across the bay from Port Miami, but in downtown, there is Bayside Marketplace, which is a nice place to spend, an hour or two. You can have a meal and do a little bit of outdoor shopping. That's not a bad option as well. So a couple things to do there in Miami. I've heard that kids are limited with the amount of hours they're allowed in the kids camp. Do you know how this works and how they're limited? Yes. Depending on the ship, Joseph, it's either hours or sessions. Depends on how long the cruise is. But right now, with limited capacity, Royal Caribbean, to ensure social distancing, is limiting the amount of kids in Adventure Ocean. And since there's more demand usually than they can handle, they basically say at the beginning of the cruise, all right, you could sign up at the beginning for X amount of either hours or sessions. And then later on in the cruise, they open up. And the reason why they do this limitation in the beginning is so that everybody has a fair chance. So the people that didn't board first book up all the hours, essentially. But after usually a couple days, they open it up and you can make more reservations as you see fit. In my experience, Joe, with bringing my kids on board, I've had minimal issues with getting my kids in there. I think the worst was one night on Adventure of the Seas. They had to go in about an hour late because they were booked up for that evening. But works pretty well otherwise. Does Royal Caribbean accept proof of vaccine certificate if it's from a different government, as Australia's opened up its international borders as ours yesterday? That's fantastic. I don't know the rules yet for Australia. Royal Caribbean, as you probably already are aware, Fanfic canceled their season down there. So we're not going to see cruises down under until next cruise season. And if the protocols are anything like up here, it'll all change beforehand. So it's a little too early to know. Now, if you're talking about, hey, I'm coming to the U.S., I'm going to fly now and come over and visit, and I want to know those things, then I would say that Royal Caribbean is accepting of whatever government issued proof of vaccination. I can't speak as to what those may be for Australia off the top of my head, certainly, but I would look into which forms you can bring there. Basically, you just need something your government is issuing you to show proof of vaccination from Australia. Any tips for cruising with an infant? Couple tips. And I've done this with my kids when they were both 6 months old each. Get a ship that has a nursery. You'll thank me later to have that option. Take advantage of the nursery. Go there on the first day to register. Bring at least 25% more baby supplies than you think you need. I know you have got this math in your head. We're going for 7 days. That means I'm probably going to need X amount of diapers, X amount of formula, X amount of wipes. Yeah, multiply that by 25%, if not double it, because you go through more on a cruise. Those are some easy tips right off the bat. Do I think the key is worth it? I generally don't. I did, however, Myra, I booked the key for Odyssey of the Seas when I go on her November 15th. So I'm going to do a 2021 review of the key, and I'll have a review of it right here at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for you. But I generally don't think it's worthwhile. I think a lot of the benefits sound better than they are. But I would say this, Myra, if you're not staying in a suite, if you're below Diamond and Crown and Anchor Society, and you're going to buy the internet no matter what, you can make an argument for the key. But I generally think it's just overrated, quite frankly. Does Royal Caribbean have a Black Friday sale? They do have a Black Friday sale. And I'm going to tell you, Wu-Tang Life, you're going to say, wait a minute, whoa, I should wait for Black Friday, right? Boy, that sounds great, Matt. Thanks for the advice. No, don't do that. So Black Friday, there is a Black Friday sale. There's always been a Black Friday sale on cruise fare as well as on the cruise planner. And they usually kind of blend it between Black Friday and Cyber Monday into one. They basically just, it's the same offer or a very, very, very different, slightly different offer, depending on if it's Black Friday or Cyber Monday. But the reason why you don't want to wait for Black Friday to book is because between now and then the price could change, as in go up. So what you want to do, Wu-Tang Life, is if you're on the fence about booking a cruise, book it now, lock in the price. And then when you get to Black Friday or Cyber Monday and there's a better deal out there, then you call your travel agent and say, hey, looks like there's a better deal out there. Let's get the difference back. Easy peasy. And again, the reason why you're booking now and not just seeing if it goes down Cyber Monday or Black Friday is because the price could go up between now and then. So now that Royal Caribbean is part of Celebrity, have you been on any of them? And if so, which ones are and how are they? I have not been on any Celebrity cruises yet. I would love to. I started working on Royal Caribbean Blog full time right before the pandemic. So my window of time to get on a Celebrity ship was very narrow because before then, when I had a day job, I had very limited vacation time. And thus I would save it until I was to go on Royal Caribbean so I could cover stuff for RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. But I've not been on a Celebrity ship yet. I'd like to go at some point. Some of these amazing new ships like the Edge and the Apex look amazing. Celebrity Solstice class always appealed to me. So I think I'll get on there eventually. Just got to find the right time. Does Royal Caribbean intend to proceed with the Bahamas Shoreside Resort? They did say, Susan, last Friday, that they are still planning on building the beach club in Nassau. They didn't talk about Freeport, but they did talk about the one in Nassau. And so that is still, as far as they know, a go. So the answer to your question is yes. Is the drink package worth it for a 7-day cruise or longer? Just finished a 3-day cruise and it was worth it, but I can't see drinking that much for 7 days in April on Symphony of the Seas. You know, Eddie, it's a good question because I have certainly, you can make an argument either way, right? For the same reason you enjoyed it on a 3-night cruise, the same reason you would enjoy it on a 7-night cruise. But you're right. The longer the cruise, the more likely you're running something called, or what I call drink fatigue, which is this notion that the more days that you cruise and you're drinking enough drinks to break even on the drink package, you kind of get to a point where you start getting like sick of drinking. Like you're ordering drinks purely for the sake of ordering drinks because you have a drink package. There is truth to that to some extent. But again, it's still nice to have it all budgeted ahead of time. It's nice to have it all taken care of. No worrying about, sitting there like, do I want to drink? Do I want to pay for one? I don't. I certainly have purchased it on many 7-night cruises, and I thought it's been well worth it. But obviously, everybody cruises differently. So, what's the longest cruise I would take? That's a good question. Certainly 2 weeks. I wouldn't really bat an eye at a 14 to 16-night cruise. Beyond that, it's a long time away. I'm not sure. I haven't really thought. But 14, 16 nights, I wouldn't really think about. I would book that in a heartbeat. Like Panama Canal, 2 weeks. Beth at MEI Travel, sign me up. No problem at all. When does Royal Caribbean release the entertainment info? And who's the cruise director for a cruise, week, month? They don't usually put that information in advance. Best you can do, Lucretia, is when you get within about 6 weeks, you can go to the Royal Caribbean app and pretend you're missing your cruise. You go in there like, I have another cruise booked, and then you find the ship and you can look at the entertainment for like a couple weeks in advance. But there's not much in there until you get to like 3 or 4 weeks before the cruise. Your best information, and the cruise director, they never let you know ahead of time. So the best way to get that information, Lucretia, is look at a past cruise compass for past sailings. We keep an archive of them at royalcaribbeanblog.com. There's also on our message boards at royalcaribbeanblog.com a running thread of who the cruise director is on other ships. I would go there, and that'd be a good way to figure it out. Yes, that is a very shameless plug I just gave you, but honestly, it's the truth. I think Sharon Stockman will tell you, I'm telling you the truth. That's the best way to go about it. Guys, have a great week. Stay safe out there. Do something fun, and we'll talk again very soon, right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody.